All right, 2011 PGA champion and 2025 U.S. Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley is with us now at the 107th PGA Championship. Keegan, welcome to your 15th PGA Championship. You continue to wear two hats, competing as yourself, of course, and also serving as the U.S. Ryder Cup captain. I understand you had a chance last week to gather with some potential team members. Can you tell us about that, please?
Yeah, it was amazing. It's always fun this time of year to get the guys all together under one roof, the caddies, the wives, the players, and really start to celebrate a Ryder Cup year. And it was great to see everybody there and chat with everybody, and it's just a great group of guys.
That's great. We'll open up for questions, starting right here on 7 with Alex.
Hey, Keegan. Regarding past team captains we've seen before, there are captains who kind of lean a little bit more on emotion or heart with picking and strategy for the week of. Captains like Stacey Lewis have gone more analytical in recent years. How are you balancing those two things as we lead up to the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I think we have to see how the team takes shape here in the next couple months, but we'll definitely be using analytics to help us make the picks, along with, obviously the eye test of who we think is going to be suited for Bethpage. But I think when you get down to it, they're always really tough decisions. So the more information you can get helps you with those. But we'll see how the team takes shape in the next couple months.
Up to Mike 13, please.
Keegan, in reference to dinners like you just had, I mean, how much of that is the value of that kind of based on your own experiences? Talking about, I think, you said the line 2 years ago, being an outsider a little bit, of like trying to cultivate that feeling so when September comes, it's not an outsider.
Yeah, I mean, we had that Ryder Cup dinner the other week, but we're working every day, every week for the guys for Bethpage. But I think it's important. I know it for me as a player, I loved going to these meetings because it started to get real, like this is coming, and I really want to get on this team and try to motivate the guys to be excited to play for our captains that we have and get excited to play at Bethpage Black. And like I said, as a player, I was always just so excited to go to stuff like that because it's our dream to be on these teams, and even getting invited to a meeting like that is special because it means you're could make the team.
What's the value in getting like a Luke Clanton and something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I think with the group of captains and vice captains we have, we want to make everyone feel comfortable. We're going to have an open line of communication. And, for a lot of the guys that are going to be on this team, they know these guys really well, which is a little different than the past, I think. And they feel really comfortable. I mean, they could be, any given week, could tee it up with these guys in a PGA Tour event.
Over to Jay on Mike 2.
This is an eye test kind of question. This is an eye test sort of weekend. It's one of the most pressure-filled weekends of the year. What are you going to be looking for on Sunday afternoon if you've got some people that are in contention? What are you going to be looking for them to do?
Well, I think these majors are kind of separate guys. So you see a guy hang in there on Sunday. It's an impressive thing, especially around a course like this. So like I said, I'm still out there playing and trying to do my thing, but these majors there's a lot of points at stake here, and the movement on the points list it can be a lot in these events. So you see a guy, maybe a younger guy that stands up to the pressure and can feel this is as close as we're going to get to Bethpage, and that the pressure on Sunday is a lot in a major, and you can see a lot there.
And what do the Celtics have to do to get back into this?
Oof, a lot. That was sad last night. Hope Jason Tatum's all right. Let's win the next game and then we'll sort it out.
Alex, right here.
Yeah, Keegan, can you tell us what live guys you invited to the dinner last week and who showed up?
Yeah, we invited Brooks and Bryson, and they were in there on points, and they had played on the previous teams, and it was great to have them there. It was exciting this Ryder Cup and what comes with this. No one cares about what's going on in this side PGA Tour live. Like we're trying to put the best team together, and it could mean there's one live guy, two live guys. Doesn't matter. We'll see how this year shakes out. But it was really great to have them all together with the guys. It's been a while since we've been able to do that.
And the other thing is you talked about analytics and eye tests, and unfortunately, from an analytics standpoint, there's really no analytics, much analytics, I should say, out of live. And then secondly, unless you spend time watching YouTube or whatever, there's not much of an eye test. So do you have to take your approach a little differently with the live side of the equation?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we got these guys are playing in all 4 of the majors, so we'll have that. And, these guys that a lot of them are up in these leaderboards every major. So we'll see how the year shapes out. It's the data is a little less at Live. We don't have quite the same stats that we have out here, but we have some. And we know winning and contending on any tour at any level is difficult. I don't care where you play. I played the mini tours. Winning there was difficult. Winning on the Live is difficult. And you can see guys. Winning a Live event is a big deal.
Up to Paul on 14.
Keegan, I know you've said in past Ryder Cup years, put a lot of pressure on yourself to play well, to try to make one of those teams, knowing you're involved as a captain, but still would like to play if you play well enough. How would you kind of compare the pressure you feel on your own game, again, knowing you're going to be involved either way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't – it's different this year because my main job at the Ryder Cup is to be the captain. Right now, I go about every day as the captain. I don't even think about me as a player at this point. If I get to, the end of the year and I'm in that conversation, I'll change that. But for now, I have to operate every day as if I'm the captain and make decisions as the captain. I'm not thinking of myself as a player on the team at the moment.
What are the types of, roles that a captain's doing? Like, what are you doing around this time? Obviously, you're monitoring what players are doing, but that's probably not the main focus. What are the types of day-to-day things you're working on?
I really just one of my favorite things over the last year and a half has been getting to know the guys better. I've known them all, through the years of playing, but I've really gotten to know most of them much more, and it's been really one of the highlights of my career. I don't know if this didn't happen if I would have gotten to know these guys this well. So, I'm just trying to get to know these guys exactly how they want to have the Ryder Cup, exactly how they like to be treated, how they like to be spoken to in the heat of the moment, and really just having them feel comfortable with me and the other vice captains, which isn't that difficult considering we all know each other. But I've really enjoyed the process of really getting to know the guys a little better.
Over to Bob on 12.
Keegan, aside from playing in the Ryder Cup, just your own game, and obviously this is an individual game you want to do as well as you can. Has it impacted that at all? Have you found that you've had to, maybe put some things aside for the sake of this, and how are you dealing with that?
I think the hardest thing for me has been not thinking of the Ryder Cup when I'm practicing or, my day-to-day when I'm home with my family. It's constantly on my mind of how we're going to go about doing this, the best way to go about doing this, how to run a proper meeting last week. I think that's been the biggest obstacle, is shutting that part of my brain off, which is interesting because when I get inside the ropes in a tournament, it's really the only time I can do that. And so sometimes for us golfers, being inside the ropes is actually a peaceful place. And I've had that at times this year, but there's definitely been times where I've been practicing and a thought will come into my head and I got to write it down and then I'm thinking about it, and that's a distraction, but it hasn't affected my preparation or anything like that.
Are you good with where your game is right now? Like, how do you feel about things?
I feel great. I haven't putted nearly the way I have been over the last couple of years. I really felt like I took a big step forward last week, but hitting the ball as good as I've hit it, it's just putting hasn't quite been there, but I know if I just have a week that clicks in, I can be right up there.
And just last thing, you just a minute ago said you've enjoyed like the last year and a half getting to know guys, whatever. Does that mean you knew you were the captain a year and a half ago?
Let's see, when was it?
Maybe it seems.
It wouldn't have been a year and a half. I guess it would have been
maybe it
not
seems
even quite a year.
Maybe it seems like a year.
It seems like a decade, but no, it's been. It's been. I guess it's been less than a year, but yeah.
Any other questions for Keegan? Paul, go ahead.
Keegan, you've previously, I think it was President's Cup, you said just kind of you had previous regrets on how maybe you viewed other guys out here kind of as your competition always, and you kind of relished that a lot of the younger guys are friends in this part of this generation. Just now having this kind of renaissance where you were able to play the President's Cup, where you're doing this, are you relishing having a different viewpoint on how you view your fellow competitors?
Yes, I really regret early parts of my career. Who knows, maybe helped me play well. I wouldn't know if I did it differently, but I really am. I look up to a lot of these guys in the way that they treat each other, and that they are genuinely happy for their friend that wins or plays well. And I never really felt that. I was always like wanting to beat everybody, and I think it's been great for me to get around those guys and feel that sort of joy that they have for their friends. And I, as the captain now, I see a guy like Justin Thomas win, and I feel like I'm in the car cheering. Like, it's just so fun for me to have that feeling. I sort of feel like a big brother to a lot of these guys, and I thank them for helping me see that side. And I think it's a much better way to go about life on the tour.
All right. Thanks for your time, Keegan. We appreciate it.